What's going on, everyone? Welcome to, I guess, our first preview episode, our first comic preview episode of the All About Comics show with your host, Corban Ford here. I want to thank y'all in advance for tuning in. Really appreciate y'all. We are undertaking a real journey here, getting this comic book channel to really be consistent, start growing, hopefully get bigger and better. But right now, listen, we are in the infancy stage, and that's okay. That's fine. But I'm excited, y'all. I'm excited. We have some fun books. We have a lot of books coming out tomorrow on the 19th. It's a crazy book week. One of my favorites. I think I'm most excited for the 26th, just because some of the Batman books that come out. But we have a lot of books that are coming that I'm really pumped to get my hands on. So put together a little bit of a show here, just previewing some books I'm gonna keep an eye on, and some information relevant to that. I look forward to anyone kind of leaving comments, below, letting me know what books you're interested in, what you'll be checking out. What did I miss? Because this is kind of based off my own personal preference here, but this should be some fun. So without further ado, let's get into it. All right. So we're going to start here with the first book. This is the book for me, and I think it's a book for many of you. That's DC Marvel Batman Deadpool #1. We saw the Marvel kind of side of it before, a couple months back, and now we are getting the DC side. And listen, obviously, Batman Deadpool, it's not the combination that would immediately come to mind for me, but hey, I could see where opposites attract, where you have contrasting characters and the dynamic there, and you have two really good creators here, Grant Morrison and Dan Mora. Grant Morrison obviously has done a wonderful run on Batman that is critically acclaimed. Dan Mora, for my money, is the best artist out in the game right now. Like, I love his artwork; it's clean yet classic. I love his work on Batman, and we get to see him do interpretation of the new Batman suit, which this is the one obviously being done with the Jorge Jimenez Matt Fraction run, but we haven't really seen Dan Mora's version of it. It's not much different. I mean, it's the blue, it's the classic blue, but still, I'm excited to see it. See Grant Morrison write both the characters of Batman and Deadpool and how that comes across on the page. Really pumped. But this book doesn't just have those two stories. There's 5 additional stories as well. You're gonna get a lot of bang for your buck, and we'll get to that in a second, obviously. But we got characters like Constantine. You have Doctor Strange. You got Nightwing. Laura Kinney as Wolverine, of course. Harley Quinn and the Hulk, which, like, okay. And Static and Miss Marvel. So a bunch of different characters teaming up in some backup stories in this book. Additionally, I mean, you're gonna have such creators as Scott Snyder. You got James Tynion, Joshua Williamson, Tom Taylor, Bruno Redondo, Mariko Tamaki, Amanda Connor, and G. Willow Wilson, and of course, the legend Dennis Cowan. I mean, they're all legends, but Static Shock, Milestone, if you don't know, check them out. All in all, this book gonna be a big one. 64 pages, $7.99 cover price. So you definitely, like I said, got some buck. So we're getting some bang there. 23 variant covers, 18 open order, and 3 store exclusives. A lot of covers for this. I'm basic. I'm not gonna lie. The covers is nice, but really it's what's in the pages for me. So I'm gonna grab this cover right here. But I'm really pumped for it for sure. And also this artwork. I mean, this is a sampling I took of the preview that was given between Batman Deadpool. Again, Dan Moore on the art there. But I'm really loving this Nightwing and Laura Kinney. Like that right here, this right hand image. Wow. Like that alone has me excited. And it's Bruno Redondo on the art for that. And I'm really pumped to see what kind of mission they'll go in together, in this very short backup story, but one that should be fun. And it's called Sticks and Stones. Yeah, give that to me. Harley Quinn the Hulk, that has to be something just wacky and zany. While John Constantine, Doctor Strange, probably a little more serious. And then Static and Miss Marvel, I mean, it depends how Static's gonna be written. I'm a big fan of G. Willow Wilson. Miss Marvel, as a character, I'm okay with. So it'll be interesting to see what that looks like. But I'm ready for every story in this. I cannot wait. As soon as my LCS opens up at 12, I am there, pounding down the door, proverbially speaking. My next book, Batman Superman World's Finest, number 45. Written by Mark Waid, art by Adrian Gutierrez. The plot here pretty simple. Take it from the world's finest 1997 movie. Lex Luthor and the Joker are teaming up for a tandem worthy of facing both Batman and Superman. Of course, you know there's going to be betrayals. Of course, you know that is a tumultuous duo. Lex Luthor's analytical mind, the Joker thrives on chaos. Both of them combining together. We've seen it before. We've usually seen how it ends, but I'm such a fan of Mark Waid. Listen, the guy knows the DC universe like no one else. He's read literally every DC comic ever written. And you can tell that's not even just a baseless claim. One, that's one that he's actually done, but two, like his mastery of every character in the DC universe and the tone, I think is amazing. And I mean, he gets Lex Luthor, he gets the Joker. Those are two of the more well-known characters, to say the least. Two characters out of all the ones that Mark Waid is aware of, like those two he definitely has in his bag. So really excited to see where that goes, how this storyline spins off. I imagine being a couple of issues. Adrian Gutierrez, a fan of his art. I haven't read a whole lot. I haven't seen a whole lot of his art rather. But I've read a few books here and there with his art in there, and I'm excited to see how this presented. I love a Mark Waid, Dan Mora. The world's finest has kind of been really supported by those two for many of the issues on here, but Mark Waid always has talented artists with him, and I'm sure Gutierrez is no exception with this. So it's going to be a $3.99 cover price. You have two variant covers for that, and there's some of the artwork. And I mean, it like there it is. It's clean. It's his own style. It's not Dan Mora at all, like in terms of a replication of that, but it kind of is familiar to that, at least for this book. And I already can tell that I'm going to love the Joker Lex Luthor interaction. I mean, look at it right there, and if you can't see the print, the Joker's giving his proposition to Lex Luthor when he's like, "Oh God," and you know that is going to go somewhere fun. So I'm really excited to get my hands on this one. Next up, Amazing Spider-Man number 16. Going a little bit into the Marvel side of it, written by Joe Kelly, got art by John Romita Jr., Scott Hanna, and Marcio Mena. So a couple of fine folks on the art. The story, despite what the cover shows you, Spider-Man versus a newer version of the Spider Slayers, which should be cool. I don't think that is. It says Plague RX, so doubt that that's the Spider Slayer. I'm really interested in seeing it. Haven't been reading a whole lot of the Amazing Spider-Man, so literally after the show, going to go back and kind of dive into some back issues of this most recent run, just to get a feel for it. But really excited for this one as my starting off point because I have no expectations really. This issue also features the new teen hero Kintsugi, or Kintsugi. I said that right the first time. Yep. AKA Captain Kintsugi. His first appearance was a cameo, and that was in the Amazing Spider-Man number 7 from the summer. And then he made his first full appearance the very next issue. So we'll see how he fits in with this. We'll see where Peter Parker is now with these Spider Slayers, where this Plague RX guy comes into play, and how that all ties together, and the new storyline that is going off with Spider-Man here. Really excited for that. That's 32 pages, $4.99 cover price. You have 6 variant covers, 4 open order, and 2 incentives. That should be interesting. Next book I got here, Punisher. Number 3, this is the Red Band. Marvel finally went back to Frank Castle. Like, come on. It's been too long. I was reading, I mean, Frank has been in heaven. He has been a totally different guy. We have had everyone but, the original, like, straight up Punisher with his roots. And I already know that based off these 3 issues, it's been good. I'm excited. I love the Red Band idea just in general. I'm not going to lie, because whether or not I don't think the Red Band means that it has to be super gory. It just means that if they do decide to go that way, there isn't anything holding back. You know what I mean? There doesn't have to be a shooting or a stabbing off screen or something left to the imagination if Benjamin Percy doesn't want that. And Benjamin Percy, I mean, I think he's a perfect writer for this. We're going to talk about him a little bit later with some of the Predator stuff. There's a Predator book coming out, or another Predator versus Marvel book coming out. But we've seen him do these books, and he is somebody who leans into it in a really visceral way, not in an over the top. I mean, it's kind of over the top, but not. I don't think it's extra. I think he just knows how to create these stories that are super bloody and super in depth, and to each their own. But I'm not against it, especially when okay, if it's gonna be a Predator book, yeah, there's gonna be spines, there's gonna be a lot of viscera, like it's gonna be that type of book. The Punisher, not much different. That's just the kind of character that he is. And so I think they have a good writer for that in Percy. Art by Julius Ota. I've loved his art. I love the contrast in it. You really get a feel for not only the character, but the landscape around him when he is in the alleys, when he is covered in literal blood. And you see that. Like it translates really well on the page. And he does an amazing job, bringing that together. But this one, so far, we know the Punisher, we know it's Kingpin, and we know Tombstone. Those are the characters that have been kind of floating around here in this book up to this point. This one is branded as the Punisher versus the Kingpin. So I'm looking forward to it. It should be fun. The Kingpin has looked like the hulking beast that he is, that we've seen him in other books done well, as we've seen him in the TV series, most notably this recent Daredevil series, where okay, like this is a physical man who uses his hands and it's really physically dominant. Like let that be what we see, but not just in like, oh, the comics, he's a big dude. Let's see it. I'm not saying you have to crush heads, but like, you know. So we'll see. It's 32 pages, $4.99 cover price. Definitely gonna be picking this one up. There's 2 variant covers. Listen, you know me, I'm getting the basic. But I'm excited. So far, I've not been upset this run. I think that the Punisher is a character meant for this red band. I love that Frank is there. I'm sorry and respect to other creators, but there have been recent substitutions of who the Punisher is and what his costume is, and without getting into all of the nitty gritty in the politics or lack thereof of it, I just like the character being true to the character. That's it. So I'm really excited for this one. Next, another one I'm gonna be looking at, Titans number 29. There's a DCKO tie-in, and I really want to get people's thoughts. If you can leave them in the comments below, how do we feel about DCKO? I came in super duper excited. My friends know I was all over the top on this book. So far, we've only gotten one. We're gonna get one later on, but we've only gotten DCKO number 1, right? It's really just been tie-ins. We did get Night Fight number 1, and that had some action in it. But I guess my issue is that I haven't really seen a lot of fighting. Like where is the action? And the action specific to this big event, and the Titans are at least adjacent to this, because this story has them moving from one catastrophe to the next. They literally have been helping evacuate Earth, obviously due to the events of DCKO, and now they find themselves scattered across dimensions. Starfire herself is going to be facing an apocalyptic blockade, which should be interesting to see. Maybe that sounds like action to me, right? Starfire, one of the more powerful members of the Titans group, fighting, apocalyptic tech, apocalyptic warriors. Like, sure. I think it'll be interesting. I just want to actually see it tie in. This DCKO Titans book probably is the closest tie-in, because again, it is monitoring the events from Earth, and now it's going more into a galactic type of feel. But I just want to see it come together better, I guess. I don't know. I was really pumped for what I thought was not going to have massive ramifications, because at the end of the day, this was just a classic, fight kind of series. But I just haven't seen enough fighting for me to really feel like, all right, like here we are. Let's get into this, with some action. So yeah, I'll be monitoring it. I'm definitely not like walking off of this. I mean, for goodness sakes, we're not even fully into it. We just got one book down of the 4 in the series. But the tie-ins just haven't really been doing it for me. So hopefully they will. This one, 32 pages, a $3.99 cover price. You have 2 variant covers for that. All right, let's go into something outside of the the Marvel and a DC here. Excuse me, I for a second was confused. I'm like, yeah, G.I. Joe's indie, right? Yeah, it's indie. I had a moment there. Image indie, yes. Shout out to that. The big 2, man. You would think I didn't know comics, but G.I. Joe number 14. Really excited to read a book that's outside of the ones I normally read. I really am a big 2 guy. I'm not opposed. I'll read any comic, but like in terms of what I kind of gravitate to in my LCS, definitely those. And I try to read some of the more indie comics, even the bigger properties online. But this one was recommended by my friend Jay, the first of a few that he is keeping an eye on that I wanted to share here. But G.I. Joe number 14, written by Joshua Williamson, art by Tom Riley. They are in the midst of the Dreadnought War, part 2 of 5. This issue is. In this book, we'll be finding Duke and Cobra Commander on the run together. And if you can't tell by the cover, these two characters have an interesting relationship, more of an acrimonious relationship between each other. So I'm getting some buddy cop vibes. We're gonna see, especially since they need to work together to survive this war. So this should be really interesting. The book preview also teased the first appearance alert of a fan favorite character. Who could that be? And I'm not asking in like I kind of know. I really have no idea. So I really would love any, help on this. I can't wait to get my hands on it and figure it out for myself and be like, oh, okay, cool. But right now I really don't know who it could be. So if y'all know, please let me know. But this one looks interesting. Tom Riley's art, from what I've seen, looks nice. And honestly, I haven't read a lot of G.I. Joe comics. So this will be one that I'm excited to kind of look into for sure. 32 pages. You got $3.99 cover price, 6 variant covers, 2 are open order, 2 are incentives. You got 2 retailer exclusives. But yeah, this will be one to keep a look at for sure. If you're a G.I. Joe fan, if you want to do something different like me or anywhere in between. Other books I'll peek at. Just got a few here. Exquisite Corpse, number 7, written by James Tynion, art by Michael Walsh. There's a $4.99 cover price, and this book just seems to be a different beat than books I would normally read. I'm definitely more superhero, more action focused. Exquisite Corpse is one that definitely is a different chip off the block in terms of comics, and one that I find that I enjoy. After having read. Tynion has been a really interesting writer, kind of going back to his indie books outside of the main run. But I love a good horror book. This one screams that to me. And the premise in general, I mean, every 5 years on Halloween, the wealthiest families in the United States play a game in which 12 of the deadliest people in the world must kill each other to survive. And so this time the game is set in Maine. And while the killers are attempting to off each other, the citizens have to survive. Very much Purge vibes, really interesting. You got a series of assassins, the state they, hail from, and the weapon that they're having. This book's been around since May. And, the reviews have been great. And, he has plans locked in for a wide 5-year run, even though the series itself is a 13-issue maxi. So right now you're kind of coming in the middle of it. If you can definitely get hands on earlier issues, definitely do so. If you have been reading it, please tell me how you've liked it, because I'm getting into it midway through the party. But I'm definitely going to go back and catch up on volumes 1 and 2, or volumes 1, which has already been released. Volumes 2, and I'm guessing future ones will come out into the next year. So really excited for that. Superman Unlimited number 7, written by Dan Slott, got the art by Jeremy Adams. I've really enjoyed the Superman Unlimited book. I have been keeping an eye on it. I love Dan Slott in general, so what he's done for Superman's just been great. But in terms of Unlimited, it's Superman kind of dealing with an influx of kryptonite, basically. There's different stories and different things kind of spinning out from that, and even this book spins out from the summer of Superman. But I've really enjoyed it. Like I said, what do you have to say when it's Dan Slott, right? Jeremy Adams is a different artist on this one. Normally, or at least the one up to what I've been reading, has been Raphael Albuquerque on the book. But either way, it's just a really well done book, a different look at Superman. The first issue had me hooked. The others have had me intrigued in different ways, but I'm definitely checking this out. Godzilla Destroys the Marvel Universe number 5. Come on now. Jerry Dugan, art by Javier Garrón, 32 pages, $4.99. These are the property books. There's surprises in there, but honestly, come on now. It's in the title. Godzilla, the Marvel Universe facing off. You got to check it out, right? And then Predator Kills the Marvel Universe number 4. Again, Benjamin Percy just has a feel for these type of stories, the type of violence that needs to be in them, the equal level of viscera, the equal level of whatever extra gore, I guess, that you would get from a Predator book. Percy has that down pat. So I'm really excited to see or continue to read rather Predator Kills the Marvel Universe. We've already seen him do so many of these stories of the Predator-verse Wolverine, Predator-verse Spider-Man. We've seen this, and so the continuation of that should be fun. Art by Marcelo Ferreira, 32 pages, $4.99 cover price for this one. So between the two, Godzilla and Predator, you're spending like $10, but it is what it is. It's not a super deep book. what you get. You're really there for the artwork, some wonderful splash pages, and hopefully some really good battles in between. But that's a wrap on this week, y'all. Short little 20-minute show. I really appreciate y'all for watching. Like I said, going to continue to improve and try to get better here on this, but really grateful for any feedback in advance. Like I said, please let me know. This will be both on YouTube and I will have this in the podcast feed. So really, really looking forward to feedback, but trying to get these regular. We'll have another show coming out here probably the end of the week into next week reviewing some books, but I'm really pumped for that. And if you have any questions, comments, or dope ideas, hit me up. My email, comicbookbarbarian@gmail.com, spelled exactly how it sounds. But you can also look up Corban Loves Comics on Facebook, on Instagram. You will find this show, more work, more importantly, myself there. So took myself out there. Just want to thank you all for taking some time to check it out. Really appreciate it. And wherever you are, whoever you may be, keep reading great comics. All right, y'all. We'll talk later.